We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you another episode of We Can Help with Dave and Woody, already in progress.
Here we go. Just like I told you, Dave, just put a little Vaseline on it and it'll be okay.
Well, I'm glad you clarified that because I went with the what's the stuff? The
Yeah, I could.
Vicks.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's
I
been
thought you were
burning.
going
It's
there.
been burning for hours.
I thought you were going with the hemorrhoid one.
Preparation H.
Yes, yes. That's what you're going
That's
with.
my new weight loss program. I just smear a little preparation H on it, and it
Tighten up the skin a little bit. Yeah.
shrinks me right up. Okay.
Anyhow,
Yeah, that's good.
silly stuff.
Is this recording? Oh my gosh, we're on. All right.
Oh yeah, I got to click my little button there too. And we
Oh
started
yeah.
right
Hey,
on
we
zero
nailed it,
tonight.
man.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna be late. I'm sorry. I got home um from the kiddos and I was grading papers. And I said, well, I got to get something in my belly because tonight we have a new feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drinking on school nights. Shh.
Shush.
So before we get started, hang a second here. Alexa, can you give us that public service announcement about drinking responsibly?
I'm sorry. There are no active announcements to repeat.
Okay, Alexa, can you whip up an informative message about drinking responsibly?
Announcing on all devices. From David. Remember to drink responsibly, know your limits, never drive impaired, and look out for your friends. Your choices tonight affect everyone around you.
All right. There you
I
go.
think that's interesting, though. She says,
yeah. Why does she say it on all devices?
Well, I'm thinking my daughter's going to hear that, but I'm thinking it says don't drive impaired. It says don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive. It says don't
well,
drive
she doesn't
impaired.
want to narrow. She doesn't want to be so narrow. She wants to make sure that if you're hooped up on Ritalin or something like that, maybe too. So,
well, anyway,
you know,
the point of this whole exercise is we're going to bring a feature. If you haven't noticed on our X, formerly known as Twitter account, that's what is that thing called?
It's called X.
No, but what's
Just
our
said it.
address? At Dave and Woody Pod.
Okay.
Excuse me, I knew that. Anyway, I have followed many of Bourbon X accounts from the Bourbon Trail. I can get that out in a minute, tell you who they are. But anyway, so every once in a while, you may have noticed in a previous episode, I will enjoy what I call a dram.
You call
bourbon.
it a dram. No one else does.
An eighth of an ounce.
Yeah, it's not an eighth of an ounce.
Well, it's not a lot.
It's certainly not an eighth of an ounce. Eighth of an ounce is like a sip, is it?
It's a dram. You could make that argument. But anyway, so I thought, by no means, I enjoy a cigar. Of course, I probably need a PSA for that, but I enjoy a cigar quite often. And I run into these guys all the time that are suddenly cigar aficionados. They talk about the flavor. Oh, I enjoy the dirt and the leather. I mean, who's chewing on a leather saddle and licking the
or
ground?
Who wants to?
So I'm not a bourbon snob. I might be somewhat of a coffee snob, but I'm not a bourbon snob or a cigar snob. I just live by the rule: if you like it, get it, and we can talk about the things you like. But so anyway, Knob Creek, and we're gonna talk a little bit about what Woody. Let's get this here. I don't know if this is probably illegal doing this, but Knob Creek, and this particular bourbon is single barrel select bourbon. And what I've discovered is this is 120 proof. Knob Creek, I think I'm speaking with somewhat of authority. They hold back this 120 proof barrel strength for kind of a special promotion. And so the way I found it the first time was our good buddy Alan Fidello owns a bar, restaurant, sports.
Yeah, he just had an anniversary today.
Yeah, 20 something years.
Yeah.
Anyway, named Cheers down in Orlando.
What an original name. You know, that's a good name for a bar.
If I could ever find a place where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, I know. It'd be nice.
Anyway, so what they end up doing, my other buddy, Jeff Borzowitz, who owns Corona Cigar Company, they go up to the distillery and they actually hand select barrels. And then they do a tasting. It's big for, for Alderall. And they barrel test each one of them, say, okay, we like the way this pairs, we like the way it tastes. And then the distillery marks the barrel and says, okay, this is going to be for your business. And so I think Knob Creek, and I think I'm speaking again with some knowledge, they hold that back for their promotional um, venue. So anyway, the long story of this is I finished the bottle that Alan gave me from Cheers, and then I went to the liquor store, the American Business College, ABC.
Yes, I now have to start using that.
And I couldn't find this 120 proof. And it turns out you have to join this club over at ABC. You give them your name and number, and every time you make a purchase, you start accumulating points. And when you get to 5,000 points, then you can start requesting special distilled products or special units or whatever. And so I went online thinking that I'll never find this again, but it turns out this particular bottle was for Rivertown Fine Wine and Spirits, and they're over in St. Johns County. So they must have done the same thing. But I got this bottle from my Middleburg liquor store. And so what I'm thinking is the buyer who owns the Middleburg liquor store bought some of these barrel selects from Rivertown. They're not the same family. I thought first they were the same family.
Oh,
So and it's like a less than $60, $57 bottle off the shelf.
or a 750, not a full handle, right?
Right, for 750. So it's not cheap. It's not but it's really and this barrel, this version is by far less spicy. So, when you get to go up there and test it and taste it yourself, you pick the one that you like. So I guess Alan liked it a little bit more hot and a little bit more spicy. This one is definitely smooth, and it's very nice either way. So anyway, so that's Knob Creek, and I don't know if we can do this properly.
Yeah, don't throw it up there too much, because when I run it through the YouTube video, it'll look for
we'll get in trouble.
that stuff. Yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to tell you was Alexa informed me that that's owned by Jim Beam Distilleries.
Right.
And as you expressed at one point, you typically try to buy American distilled products.
And it's distilled here. I just like American-owned distilleries.
Right. So I don't want to cast any stones toward these guys. This is from Claremont, Kentucky. So you're getting that good Kentucky water. And of course, the corn probably comes from the region as well. But this one happens to be owned by that Japanese company that owns Jim Beam as well.
Right.
But
and that's why I stick to the Evan Williams, and my preferred is their small batch 1783, which it has an oaky vanilla sauteed butter corn aroma to it, Dave.
Ooh, okay. Wait a minute. Hit that again.
Oaky vanilla, sauteed butter, and sweet corn. I was trying to find the article I was reading today. And just like you said, the people who write these articles, they must just look up adjectives to put on this crap. It was so hoity-toity.
And you go into a cigar lounge, or like where we go to, I say it's your grandfather's tobacco shop. You got to have some thick skin. You'll get beat up if you go to this place and you're not ready for it. But these guys will show up and they're new to the store, and they'll go, can you make a recommendation? So the owner will go, well, tell me what you like. He gets a little feel for it, and he goes, yeah, come on back to the humidor, and he picks out 2 or 3 cigars, says, try one of these. So he ends up trying
ready or something?
Huh?
Is your pizza ready or something?
That's it. Pizzas. We're running a pizza shop and a podcast.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you did it, not me.
Anyway, so dinner up number 5. All right, anyway, so so the guy starts to smoke it, and then it goes into this, the aroma and the taste like football and leather. I'm like, come on, buddy, just
brings me back to my days as a youth, when I used to lick the leather hide of my father's couch, just shut
after
up
he'd been sitting in it for 3 hours. Yeah, anyway. All right, I don't know how to get down this path.
And the other thing that it reminded me, the PSA we heard from our lady intern there, I don't want to say her name, reminded me. So Infested, my rock band in college, during I think MTV had those, they had rock bands doing the PSA commercials, and so we did one, and our thing was don't drink and drive. because we do, and it's not safe. You could, yeah. Actually, we actually shot a video PSA of that. I have to go and figure out where that is.
Was there video of Brad's car going down the road hitting Bob's barricades?
Yep. Essentially.
What year was that thing, man?
Late 80s. Oh, that car? I don't know, early 80s, something like that.
Just to remind people, a Ford Granada
four-door
with standard transmission.
4 on the floor.
I've never seen in my life a 4-door sedan Granada with a 4-speed standard transmission.
He used to always say, I lowballed my dad for that car. I gave him $1. That was a nice car. You know, it's funny. He was driving to what was our formal dinner in the fraternity called? What was that thing called?
Required?
Yeah, no. Remember we had a formal every year?
Oh, the formal toga?
No, a formal dinner where you wore black tie and everything.
Oh, shit, I don't know. I was not really alert.
Oh man, I forget. I can't think. Anyhow, he was going and he forgot his bow tie, so he did a U-turn right in front of somebody, and they tagged the driver's door. And then he went to the junkyard and bought a mismatched door.
Is that where we got the infested insignia on the side of it?
Well, yeah, a little bit. I think what happened was that he left the car at the fraternity house one night, and Mr. Patrick got a hold of some paint and started to decorate the car.
Oh,
and it was all downhill from
I don't know
there.
if you can find that picture and put that in there, but I don't know.
Oh, the one. Oh, yeah. I do have that. So in my skinny days.
Yeah, that guy could hit some Bob's barricades. Yeah.
Sweet.
I remember that one trip. He goes, "Hey, Theus, watch this." And then he hits the first one, and it cascades. Mind you, these were the metal ones. The I-beam, those angle irons they were made of. And it comes over the passenger side. I'm looking at this blinking light going over the dash, over the windshield. I'm like, holy crap. So from that point on, I'm leaning over in the car because he's going to catch one right in the face.
Oh man, shopping carts never stood a chance. And I'm talking about those old tank shopping carts in the heyday. So anyhow, I lost my total train of thought because we had something lined up, and now I can't remember what we were supposed to talk about next.
Well,
was that it?
Well, we just wanted to get that off our chest that we're going to bring this new feature because I think, and I just want to make sure everybody's clear. I still have in case anyone's listening, we're going to be responsible, and I don't propose. It's just for the love of it. It's just it's the American history of the art of distillery, and that's the only reason I'm into it. You know what I mean?
So are you going to buy a new bottle every week?
Well, I started to think about that. This is going to be expensive, because we're making all that money.
Right. Well, if we could get a bourbon sponsor, I'd be happy.
Well, that's
ecstatic to have Evan Williams jump on board.
What I was hoping for is someone would hear this down in Kentucky somewhere. Well, whatever. And pick us up, and say, hey, these guys are really doing gang.
Yeah, because there's probably no podcasts out there where they review bourbons.
No, absolutely not. We could be a first.
Yeah, we're gangbusters. You're not trendsetters. Excuse me, not gangbusters.
Yeah, well, that's implied. All right. Anyway, moving on. So I have a story. I don't want to hog it. We can come back to mine. What are you working on?
Well,
kind of a weird week.
I skipped over it last week because I actually did it last week. I do it the day after Thanksgiving every year, but somewhere 25, oh God, it's got to be 28 years ago, before kids, I proclaimed to my wife that now that we're in North Carolina, we're going to cut down a fresh Christmas tree every year. So I have now been doing that for 28 years. And I can tell you the whole ceremony of it all and the excitement of it all died off after about the third year. So it's 25 years now. I've been trudging it out to the tree farm on probably their busiest day of the year, cutting down a tree and carrying it all the way back. Because we decided a long time ago, we get what's
Fraser
called
fir?
a Leland cypress.
Oh, that's
It's kind of
kind
a
of soft.
floppy tree. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very soft tree. And the problem is it is a cypress and it is friggin' heavy tree to tote back. Because we go about 8 foot on it, and the trunks are really peculiar on them, so you have to be real careful. Um, if a branch is too, you cut off one of the low branches, you lose half your tree sometimes. So I've learned my lessons over the year. But so we went out and took care of that the other day. I was just curious if you have any. What do you guys do for a tree?
Well, it's interesting. There's a young fellow, I'm helping him prepare a speech for our FBLA, the kid that I've been working with
Oh yeah.
for several years. And he's doing an impromptu speech. And we were just practicing. And I looked at my tree and said, the Fraser fir is, give me a 3-minute speech impromptu about the Fraser fir, the Christmas tree. And so I learned a few things, that it's often thought of as the Cadillac of Christmas trees.
Oh,
It is grown there in North Carolina, and it's known for its firm, strong branches. They didn't say smell. They said it's a Christmas scent, the aroma,
yeah.
and
There is no aroma on a Leland cypress. Part of the reason
yeah.
I like it, and it never turns brown either. That's
Well, in
why
this one, the Fraser is known for keeping its needles a little bit longer than not.
Okay.
And so that was his speech, that the reason Fraser fir, often thought as the Cadillac of Christmas trees, for its firm and supported branches and its aromatic Christmas smell and its
Now,
hardiness to keep its needles.
you don't have a real Fraser fir, do you?
No, we've done artificial. I'm looking over my shoulder. There's one back here. We've done artificial for years. So what I'll end up doing is, we had a home. We built our first home together out. It's now Ponte Vedra, but it was St. Augustine at the time, but Ponte Vedra. And we had a large enclosed back porch.
Oh, okay.
And so we used to do this Christmas open house party every year. And I said, let's go get a real tree and we'll put it on the back porch under the cover so it doesn't get cooked, in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll decorate it all white lights, and that'll be part of our decoration for our Christmas party. And everyone just, loved it, because it was this giant 12-foot tree and it was beautiful.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was not cheap back
Huge.
then.
Yeah. Well, it's not cheap now either.
Yeah, but no, we've got little tabletop trees, artificial. And it's just easier. Our cycle of life right now, we're in.
Yeah, I imagine at some point, I don't know. They're so prolific in this area. It's easy. We drive 30 minutes down into South Carolina to Pennington Farms is where we get ours. I'm going to have to remember to put them in, or maybe we'll get some sort of advertising gig with them as well. But anyhow, we've been going there quite some time. But the problem is, like we used to go a little bit further originally, but the land becomes more valuable for real estate than the trees can do for them. So a lot of them are selling out to developers. Now, one year we decided to do it on the way back from Tennessee up in the mountains of North Carolina. And that turned out, granted, that's where the majority of the trees are grown. But the problem is they're grown on
hillside.
Yeah, 60-degree slanted hills. And they're like, yeah, go ahead, walk up, get whatever tree you want. And it's already snowed on the ground. You're busting your ass trying to get up. We were struggling so bad. I said, this is the tree we're getting. I don't care. I don't care what it looks like. This is as far as I'm going. So we cut that one down.
So we've got a Florida tree farm in our area that's cypress. And so it's interesting that you guys have that one. It's a big floppy kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to hang ornaments on. Yeah, but my wife has perfected
it's pretty, though.
it. Yeah, it is. I enjoy it. Like I said, doesn't turn brown. Doesn't really lose its needles at all. Yeah. And of course, until you go to take it outside at the end, then it decides to go to poof.
Yeah,
one big splat of of
It
needles on
probably
the floor.
drinks the water pretty good. So
Yeah, it does. It does. And I've spent the money on a good. I broke my longtime Christmas tree stand last year. It finally broke where you could put it in and then you could move the tree around and lock it in an upright position.
Right.
So last year I had to go out and buy another one, and it holds 2 gallons of water.
Well,
So
I
it's
was
kind of
thinking
nice.
when I was a kid, my parents, of course, we all always bought real trees, and I can see it. Excuse me, I can see it, but I can remember the tree stand was green legs to it, and it had
Yeah,
a red
red,
reservoir at the bottom, and it was
about as big
that
as
deep,
about like a teacup,
like an ashtray,
right.
and the thing sat in the bottom of this. I'm like, and now they're like buckets. They're 1 gallon buckets almost with these screws that go in, I guess. But I can
We were always.
remember,
Oh, go ahead.
well, you got to cut the base of the tree so it opens
Right.
opens it up. But then at the moment you didn't water it enough, you could keep watering all you want, but it was sealed up again. So I just wonder, how did they do that back then? No wonder there were so many fires, because they all dried out.
Well, they had real tungsten lights on the tree too. So
Yeah, those suckers were hot.
when a bulb broke, it was straight electricity on the tree. We used to when we used to come home with our tree uh, back in Pennsylvania, my mom would make me and my brother come in the house because she didn't want to hear my father swearing at the tree trying to get it in the stand.
And he didn't have a power saw. He had that big bow saw, probably.
Right. I tell you what, I am so prepared now that I've been doing it so many years that every year I get the same reaction when I'm out there. I park in the parking lot and I open it up, and I have a stick that's 8 feet high. So I know exactly how high, because everything looks a lot smaller in those big fields.
Yeah.
And then I get my battery powered reciprocating saw out of the back, and I tell you what, there's more than 5 people along the way would go, "Oh man, I should have thought of that." I ain't getting down there and handsawing nothing.
But do it. You pick up a few things along the way. You've been doing it long enough.
Exactly. So
that's how we help people out. So go through your tool list again. You got a measured stick.
A stick is the max height of the tree I want,
Right.
and I bring a little knee pad because the ground is notoriously wet and nasty. Of course, a pair of work gloves, and then a reciprocating saw, a battery one. You don't want to bring a corded one out because you'd have to bring a hell of a lot of extension cord with you.
Or you take one of those new battery things. But yeah, you want to look like a pro, so you bring the Makita or whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. So I got it down to a science, and then I have it. I have a way to tie it right up on the roof. We got a van, luckily, with a luggage rack on it, so that
does the tree farm have that fish net thing where you drag it down?
Yeah. In fact, but for us, they always do. They have it must be from the 1940s machine there that
hay
for some
baler or
reason,
something.
it just puts a string in like a candy cane, kind of strapped down a tree. But they do it real tight. They also have drills in the ground for what you're talking about for the firs and stuff, that they put the trunk down. First, it shakes the tree.
Right.
And then a drill bit goes up and drills a hole in the center of the trunk.
Right.
So that water for watering and everything. It's a pretty good operation. And like I said, it's family owned. I've been going out there over 25 years now.
And do you and the missus break out into carols on the way home as you get the tree on the top, or?
No, but the kids all because we used to always stop for something to eat, but now the dogs go with us, of course, out there. That's always part of all the dogs join us out there on the farm, along with all the other 88 dogs out there as well. So it's become quite the operation on
that sounds like a
Friday
fun
after
time.
Thanksgiving.
That's a neat tradition. Ours is just go to the storage unit, get the damn box out, shove it in the back of the car, and then swear and cuss it at Dave to make sure he puts it up.
I have a good friend in the neighborhood here who works for one of those storage companies, and that is a business I will never understand, but you are his perfect customer. He goes, people have so much crap these days.
Yeah, we're getting ready to unload it all.
And is it's what, are you just not going to pay and let them auction it for you?
I was just going to drive down 95 and open the doors up, just let it blow out.
Start pushing it out the door.
Like that movie with what was that, Michael Keaton? Was that Night Shift, when he's got that car with the tinted windows and then he opens the trunk and then all this stuff's blowing out the back of the trunk?
I don't remember. I don't know if I've ever watched that movie beginning to end.
Oh, that's hilarious. That was the
I
greatest.
I know, but it's
feed the fish mayonnaise.
Yes, that's right. Make tuna fish or whatever.
Yeah, he's an idea guy. Well, that was a great Christmas story. I don't know if you realize this, Woody, but on the Spotify, by the way, if you're listening to us on audio, thank you very much. And don't forget to jump over to YouTube. And if you like what we're doing, or even if you don't like it, just subscribe. Because, I mean, once we're one of your subscriptions, who really cares? You're just helping.
I really don't get how I will watch the most bizarre video out there. Like lately, I've been trying to learn about outboard boat engines more, right? So I'm watching these guys fix them. They'll have 50,000 subscribers.
A lot of people own boats, apparently.
Well, I'd like to think, I'd like to some people to subscribe to the channel. Just it would help us out immensely. So
in ways untold.
Get on it.
Yeah. Anyway, so what the hell was I talking about?
I don't know. I just
so on the Spotify, one of the things they're doing is they're breaking up our show into chapters. Have you noticed that? I guess they do it on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I can do it if I want to.
Well, I don't know if I pushed a button or not, but that's what it's doing. And so it'll isolate that little Christmas tree story. That's going to be a chapter in itself. And so people can scan through that and see. It's pretty cool. So again, if you're listening to us on audio on Spotify or wherever you listen to a podcast, except for Apple Pod, because they're communist.
Well, they might, not only do we have to provide content to them, they want us to pay them to put our content on there.
And I'm out of childbearing years, and they probably want us to sign off on that too. So who knows? Anyway, so I had a little story from my class today. I think I can share.
All right. Well, let's name names.
No, okay. So we're in the last week of this course I teach called Career Clusters, and we're in the legal law. We're covering lawyers, paralegals, legal assistants, judges, court reporters, policemen, service providers, security guards, gambling, surveillance, security, and that sort of stuff.
Wow.
Anyway, so they had to pick a career path that they wanted to pursue, and a bunch of them picked lawyer because I think the money. And so I said, wait a minute, guys, before you go down this path, let's put up a list of, first of all, lawyer is synonymous with the word attorney. In case you're going to get a little older, you're going to hear somebody say. I thought you
were going a little darker with that shyster.
No, not yet. I stayed out of that. But so you're going to hear somebody say attorney, you're going to know, I don't know what that is. So attorney and lawyer, they can be interchangeable. And so I said, let's put a short list of people up on the board on what types of law. So I went from everything from family law to personal injury, criminal defense, prosecutors, estate law to real estate
attorney.
Intellectual property, all kinds of stuff. And so this young fellow, 6th grade, he's a Spitfire. We're not going to say his name, obviously, but so part of the assignment is they had to write a 500-word essay.
Whoa.
Which
you're asking 6th graders write a 500
words, Woody. You sounded like one of my kids. They freaked out over this. I told them they talk
500.
They talk 150 words per minute. It's not like I said 670, 67. I didn't say that, but
I don't even know that one yet. But anyhow,
I'm over it. But anyway, so they had to do a 500-word essay, and then they had to pull from that essay a 2 to 3 minute speech to get them up front of the class and get them speaking in front of people. Some of them freaked out, but it's been a good exercise.
I would have in 6th grade. I was not. I would almost take a day off school rather than speak.
So then they pleaded their case and said, Mr. Theus, can we just use the 500-word essay and read from that? And I'm like, okay, if you've done the work, I'll let you print it out and you can read the speech. Some of them, 3 of the kids got 100. on this part of the
Okay.
assignment. This particular young man is one
Out
of
of
them.
200.
Out of 130.
Just really? 130?
So let me read this speech to you. It's not too long, so bear with me.
Well, it's 500 words. Good
Well,
Lord.
no, so his is criminal defense. So criminal defense is super important, even if it sounds like a boring grown-up thing. It's all about making sure that the rules are fair for everyone in trouble, no matter what they are accused of doing. Think about it like a soccer game. There are refs to make sure both teams follow the rules. In a trial, the defense lawyer is like the ref for the person accused of a crime. Their main job isn't to help a bad person win, but to make sure the other side, the police and the lawyers for the government, play by the rules we all agreed on as a country. Our country has a main rule book called the Constitution. It says everyone is innocent until proven guilty. That's a big deal. It means the police can't just point at someone and say, he did it, lock him up. They have to prove it with real evidence and facts in front of a judge and jury, a group of regular people. That's the in parents. The defense lawyer makes sure the government does its homework. They ask tough questions like, did the police have a good reason to search that kid's backpack? Or is that witness telling the whole truth? You might think, well, if someone stole something, they're guilty. So why do you need a lawyer? Because sometimes mistakes happen. Imagine your brother accidentally breaks a vase, but everyone blames you. Sounds like a personal thing that might have happened.
Yeah, it sounds like realistic.
You need someone to stand up and say, hold on, I didn't do that. And you can't prove I did. That's the defense lawyer. They stand up for people who might be innocent or who maybe did something wrong but deserve a fair process instead of being treated like a monster right away. This whole system is there to protect everyone. If we let the police just arrest anyone they want without a fight, they could come after your family or your friends next, even if they didn't do anything wrong. The defense lawyer is the wall that stops the government from having too much power over regular people. It's a hard job because sometimes the people they defend did do the crime. But the lawyer still has to do their job so that the whole system stays fair for everyone else. They make sure the punishment fits the crime and that the person is treated with respect like a human and not just a criminal. In the end, criminal defense is about fairness. It's making sure the promise of justice for all and the Pledge of Allegiance is real life, not just words. It's important work that keeps our country honest.
I had to bite my tongue quite a few times there, Dave. But I thought with the funny, very good speech, by the way, or essay. I thought what was funny is that if you ended one of those sentences near the end, just stopped it halfway through, and you're like, that's 500 words.
Well,
the kid just stops writing.
So some of the kids did that. Once they figured out where the word count was in their Google document, they're like, what if it's 501? I'm like,
back in the day, we had to count, how many
type.
And well, when it used to be 6 pages, you double space that baby. And
a lot of thes and us and ands.
I was going to ask you a lot of extra adjectives in the
No, but he was giving his presentation.
No, that was a very good. That was a very good essay on the legal system.
Yeah, he had everybody's attention.
I think the funny part about people's aspiration to be lawyers, there's very few lawyers out there who will recommend becoming a lawyer. I don't know why that is, but that's one of the professions that a lot of people will say don't do it. And I don't know if it's the workload, the hypocrisy in the system. To some, there is some politicking, not politics, but politicking in the system and so forth. So I don't know. I'd have to ask a lawyer if I only knew one.
Well, the ones I know do it for the love of the law. It's one of those passionate things that, as my wife will say, the law is the law. And so if you're gonna, I don't know, I think he touched on it kind of, that it's about defending not only you but the law. It's about I don't know. I've had an interesting week. I don't want to get too deep into that, but I've had I've had a week where I've lost a little bit of trust for society and some things that are going on outside of school. But this gave me hope. It's like
Yeah.
teaching is like playing golf. If you're not a professional golfer and you're just a guy that goes out there and hacks on the weekends, it's that tee shot where you're on hole number 5 and it's par 5 and you tee it up and you just strike the ball so great and it goes straight and it goes 260 yards right down the middle of the fairway and you kind of beat yourself on the chest, say, I play this game.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. And then
It's a
you
good
take a
time to head to the
snowman.
clubhouse. It's a good time to head to the clubhouse at that point.
So
Because
it's
things
those
will not go well.
it's those moments. I always used to say, watch this. I could damn sure turn a on the green in like 8 in no time. Anyway, it's those moments where you hit that tee shot or you hear a kid, this tiny little kid in 6th grade stand up and espouse this stuff. And you're like, okay, I don't know if I'm making a difference or he's buying in. It's just, it kind of wakes you up and says, okay, it's going to be okay. But it was a tough week. It's been a tough week, kind of all week.
Speaking of education, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I was, as the elderly person I am, I was watching Jeopardy the other night, and I got Final Jeopardy, and none of the contestants got it. And I want to read you the answer, as they say, really the question, and see.
Okay.
You should be able to get this as well. But it's citing the language of the people, whether sellers or consumers. In 1893, the Supreme Court ruled on the botanical designation of this.
Botanical, so it's a plant.
I can't do too much of that. We'll get copyright infringement because my voice
18
sounds
18 something.
1893.
So that'd have been the printing press and paper. I'm thinking, was it weed?
Botanical, Dave. Botanical. Yeah. We discussed it on this show.
Today?
No.
What is marijuana or hemp?
No. I'm trying to think how I could help you. Some people call it a fruit and some people call it a vegetable.
What is tomatoes?
Correct.
What was the clue again?
It said, citing the language of the people, whether sellers or consumers, in 1893, the Supreme Court ruled on the botanical designation of this.
I remember that discussion. We even cited the Supreme Court judgment. I remember that.
Right, because it was about tariffs and whether
that's right.
As a fruit or a vegetable. And speaking of tariffs, anyhow.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching that with my wife, and it's plain to me.
Were you screaming tomato at the TV?
No, I just did it very casually. I go, yeah, that's tomato, and she didn't say anything. And then they had all three missed it, and Ken Jennings is like, and that's a tomato, and my wife's like, now why in the hell would you know that?
Because you listened to We Can Help with Dave and Woody.
Exactly. I said, if you listened, you would have known the answer as well. So, I was pretty proud of myself. Nailing that one.
That's a trip around the speedway with that one, buddy. That's a wonder circle.
I would have won Jeopardy that night because I would have doubled down on my.
You'd have pushed all the chips to the center of the table?
Yep. And gone with it because that's the only way I could have won. I never would have been leading at that point. So I got to think.
So what's the new guy like? Is he reputable? I saw some clip of him.
He's one of the big winners of the early.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you could only be on 5 days originally, for the longest time. And then when they got rid of that rule, he was one of the first super winners, if you will, that went for 4 or 5 weeks. And so he stayed in relative fame, because of that, and was around the show and doing things with the show. And then when Trebek passed away, they put him in as a temporary person, and they experimented a little bit with I can't remember that show she was on. She was on Big Bang Theory, but as a kid, she was on a show. I can't think of the name of it now.
She's a doctor, a PhD.
And which, oh, please. No, she's a neuroscientist, Dave.
No, but she has a PhD.
Yeah, I know. In neuroscience. She would tell us this all the time. It annoyed the hell out of me.
She's like our buddy Steve.
Well, at least he doesn't rub it in your face constantly like she would. Anyhow, so I wasn't the only one.
We love you, Steven.
Yeah, she wasn't the only one. I wasn't the only one who disliked her. Apparently, a lot of other people. And so now Ken Jennings is the full-time host of Jeopardy.
So he just waited around in the wings for Trebek to take the big
to pass
Rainbow
away.
Bridge.
Right. And so he stepped in now. He's got a tiny lisp, but he does a good job.
You know what I love? The Saturday night live skit where Will Ferrell
is Trebek.
And they put I don't know who that character is that plays Sean Connery.
Yeah, I can picture him. He always turns the word into something nasty.
Yeah, I'll take something Siemens for.
Yeah, right. And his answer, always
like your mother.
Yeah, with Trebek's mom. Oh man,
that skit never got old, man. And you could tell they really they loved writing it and doing it because they couldn't wait to utter the lines.
And Norm Macdonald would be Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, right.
Wouldn't know anything, and it was very good. So,
are you getting flooded with Norm Macdonald stuff all of a sudden? And
I used to, but I stopped watching because I saw them all at that point.
I can't get off of the internet without seeing about 5,000 things of Norm Macdonald. He was a creepy dude. I mean, he was hilarious. I thought he was funny.
Yeah, but he was an odd. He was very. What's the nice word we say? I don't know about pervert, but
he had one shtick that he kept going to about.
Well, he got fired. Because he got fired from SNL because he used to do the news.
Oh, the O.J. Simpson stuff.
Yeah, he would do an O.J. Simpson joke every week.
If you had to capsulize his whole career, it was basically O.J. Simpson.
But
did you see the ESPY Awards he did that when he hosted the ESPN Awards? And Rod Woodson, the defensive
Steelers.
Yeah, for the Steelers, and he had just won like the Heisman or something, and he was there, and so Norm goes, I'm going to butcher it, but basically, congratulations on winning the Heisman. You've done a great job, and don't ever worry. Heisman, whatever it is. Don't ever worry about giving that up because that's an award that only you can get unless you kill your girlfriend like O.J. Simpson did. And that was his shtick. He always took this like 90-degree turn that you couldn't see coming. And it was like bam, and everyone's face is like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he said that." And he goes,
"Oh, that's hilarious!"
Unless you kill your girlfriend and her friend that comes over,
boyfriend.
That was horrible.
Did you watch the O.J. Simpson chase?
The original?
Yeah.
Who didn't?
I try that. I don't remember. I remember watching it, but I don't have that memory in my head. I have more of a memory watching the verdict of the court case. That I knew where I was.
You know what's crazy though, and I can't figure out for the life of me why I was there. But this thing happened like in 1994, didn't it, or something?
Let me think about that because it's about
Alexa,
right.
When did the O.J. Simpson chase in the Bronco happen?
The O.J. Simpson Bronco chase happened on June 17th, 1994.
Bingo.
So,
we didn't even need her tonight.
Well, so here's my dilemma. I've graduated from UCF in 89. I was on campus watching this at the Wild Pizza when this thing was going down.
Boy, you just couldn't give it up, could you?
But why was I there? In 94, I was already...
You sure you were there for that and it wasn't a Challenger disaster in 87 or 6?
I swear I thought I was watching on the big screen at Wild Pizza, but I was selling stuff I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I was in Atlanta, but it would have been 96 when I saw the verdict, because we were in the office, and this is before, I had I had a little portable TV, and everybody was huddled around it in the break room to watch the verdict. So
Wait a minute.
that
It
was
was
kind
in
of funny.
June of 94. So maybe, see, I was already living in Jacksonville at the time. So
Right.
maybe I was down here or here. I was in Orlando for some
Visiting.
Sigma Chi event or something like that.
Yeah, could be. Or June. I'm thinking football game, but that wouldn't be June. So
I don't know. I can't remember.
anyhow,
All
well,
right. We're
it's
up
time to
against
say
it.
goodnight. Yeah.
Wow, another
Another
grand
45
episode
minutes lost to the internet.
to our friendship.
Yeah.
Well, for the listeners, we do this because Woody and I are old friends from 1989. No, 1987.
7-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, from 1987. We stayed connected because of the chains of our brotherhood would not be broken.
I don't say this enough, Dave, but I really don't like you.
Well, let's just say you can find it right here. Anyway, so we've reconnected, and this is really about us getting on the phone together on a Wednesday or Thursday night and just catching up for the week. We don't talk to each other during the week because we don't want to spoil the moment. And it's really spontaneous and impromptu. We don't do a lot of show prep. Most of you can attest to that. And then we hit the button and play record. And so it's just two old buddies getting together, having a good time. Woody's in North Kakalaki in the greater Charlotte area, and I'm in Northeast Florida, just south of Jacksonville, in Clay County. We don't like to talk about Duval because we don't pay the taxes
Right.
up there.
And
But
like
anyway,
you said, I'll honk when I go through Friday.
yeah, do that. But tonight we introduced a little bit of a bourbon feature. I don't know how we'll do that every week because I can't afford to buy a bottle every week. But any of you folks out there that represent bourbon manufacturers or distilleries,
Hello. Yeah.
hey now, we'd love to have you. And we'll wrap it up from there. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right, brother. Have a great week, and we'll till we see you next time. Later.
Sounds good.